We just have a question of what's the United States forecast?
I tuning into the United States of America, I have a sense of discomfort in my stomach, that it's a very anxious vibration right now. And it feels like a swirling, like a tornado of chaos. And I just keep getting this sense of fear that's coming up my stomach into my heart space. And the sadness that people are feeling is almost as prevalent as the fear.
Fear of what?
The fear of what's going to happen next. What is going to happen with the systems that we have in place now? And how are they going to shift? Because they have been, it's like a deck of cards that's just been dropped and everything feels like it's everywhere. Mm-hmm. And that's creating that feeling of chaos. And then I see an image of Betsy Ross. And Betsy Ross made the United States flag.
I remember we saw this before. Yeah. And what do you see with that image?
I see a real divide in the nation. I do not see it as a United States. I see it as a divided states. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like it's threatening the flag, what the flag represents could change. Like we are on a precipice of a magnitude of change that could actually shift how the United States views itself. Mm-hmm. And parts of the United States are, it's like a separation, even though we're on this, the same space.
And it's already been going in that direction for like a few years, many years actually. There's such a divide of what people think or what their views or perspectives are.
And it's become so extreme and divisive that where we used to have at least some middle ground, it feels like it's all or nothing. And that's what's creating this anxiety amongst the people. It's because people can sense that. They feel it growing, and it's just creating this consternation amongst so many.
So where do you see that headed?
It feels stuck to me. It feels like this period of chaos is going to go on, I see, through March. It will feel confusing and chaotic until March. And then what shifts in March, I'm not so sure. I think there are so many different timelines and variables based on free will of those who are making decisions on the behalf of the people here, that it's almost like there could be pockets of people who come together and really try to right the ship. But some may not feel comfortable doing that because it would be going against others.
So you're saying there could be good happening in March potentially? Or?
Yes, it could shift. It could shift. Or it could go in the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm. And if it shifted for good, what would you see that being or happening?
I just sense a lighter vibration and a happiness that we are coming out of a very dark period of time. So it feels like decisions would be halted and different decisions could be made that could right that ship. That's what they just keep saying, that term.
So it doesn't seem too bad if it's only 2 months. Or actually 1 month.
I think what makes it feel so bad right now is we don't know how long this will last.
Is it this March or next March?
Yeah.
That's another question, right? Which March?
No, it's this March. And I'm hearing it's not necessary to build more fear by talking about if it went badly, what will happen. There's encouraging people to hold on to the hope and to be the beacon of light amongst the others so that all hope is not lost, because if we come at this from fear, that's just going to feed into this bad.
Fuels the fire.
Yes.
Well, that's nice to hear, actually. Hopefully March is a hopeful. Looking forward to that type of timeline.
Me too.
Do you want to draw a card as we end?
It's February. Pull a card for the first full week of February. What can we expect? Well, Archangel Gabriel. So he is the angel of communication. And when I pulled this card, it was upside down, which is usually the opposite of what the card means. So it seems that we may have some challenges in communication this week across the United States. And so what I'm seeing, being shown, is that people are interesting. People are confused. They thought what they ordered they were going to get, but now that's not what's happening. It's more extreme than they thought. And so it's almost like this communication is super confusing. Like, what's happening? Why? Like, it's more of a trying to wrap their head around it and understand where it went sideways.
So it shows how important then communication for all of us.
Right.
And when I think of communication too, I'm also thinking of the news, media. I guess, what do we want to believe? What do we believe? What's accurate? What's not? And sometimes you don't even know.
Oh.
So maybe discerning that.
Discernment is so key right now.
Or maybe just not watching the news.
Right. Yeah, limiting it is not a bad idea.
Well, because you want to get rid of that emotional reactivity if you actually want to have good communication. Right?
That's true.
You don't want to be coming from a place of reaction, more response. Great. Thank you. Can't wait till March comes. I'm hoping.